Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today, I'll be giving another reaction to Ken Coffman. We'll be checking out the song The Wind Chimes for Gideon. Now, I don't know what Gideon is, if it's a person, if it's a place. I believe it has something to do with the Bible. And if it's not the Bible, maybe Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. One of those, universes. Honestly, I don't have any idea, but regardless, I'm excited to find out what this song is all about. So a big thank you to Ken the Steady for making this request today. It's much appreciated. Now, let's jump in. Let's see what the song's all about. The naming of the song is very accurate. Cascading wind chimes everywhere. I always kind of think of wind chimes like a waterfall, you know? But also the stars. Shimmery, celestial. Okay. Wow, finding this groove from the chimes is what a surprise. Whoa, what is that? Do you hear that? It's kind of like a bellowy guitar tone here. Right here. Back when hitchhiking was like a big thing. I think nowadays I don't see pretty much any hitchhikers ever. I think there's been plenty of horror movies that have deterred people from hitchhiking. But there is something very charming about just waiting on the side of the road, not exactly knowing where you're going to go or who's going to pick you up. But it's so endlessly dangerous. Ups and downs, at least risky. Ooh, I really like this layering. With the keys, with the vocals, even the guitar adding in. See, and now that like bellowy guitar effect is making more sense to me.
One man goes while another's undone.
It's interesting. I don't think I was expecting to even ever say this, but I guess here we are. This atmosphere kind of reminds me a bit of what you may hear in a Gary Moore track. Not sure if you all have ever listened to Gary Moore or know of him. Uh, he is one of my favorite guitarists ever. He's one of the guitarists that I looked up to when I was, getting my hands on my own guitar, learning his style and his melodies especially. Always drew me in. But one element of Gary Moore that I'm hearing in even this song is the atmosphere. Gary Moore's tracks always had this melodic haze about it, filling up the room, filling up this atmosphere, and I feel like I'm hearing something similar here in this track, and especially as it relates to the electric guitar, even furthering that feeling. Though with Gary Moore, he would eventually go into a very obvious lead tone, but it's this haze that I'm really enjoying that is reminiscent of Gary Moore. At least to me. Maybe you have a different perspective.
In some way, somehow, walls pressing, the roof's on fire, the king's asleep in a faraway spire. Does it matter? Alone we pray, wish for light to show the way. Raise hell, curse and luck, teary-eyed wail while the midnight struck. Old scars aching cold, he don't make some promise, the year will never hold. He could not stay. Last long time, we lost our way. Empty room, lonely day. Head in clouds, feel afraid.
I'm a big fan of these syncopated strums. Cool. That's real cool, the electric. Oh my god. The shreds, dude. That blues feel. Now back to the chimes. And honestly, at times this felt like prog. Yeah, very, very atmospheric. I have a I have a few questions about this one. I wonder where this song lyrically comes from. I think that's first and foremost to me because it's describing partly this journey of a hitchhiker, but also then meeting characters, savory, unsavory, not knowing how to contend with the right and wrongs of life, what best to do going forward. There's a lot of interesting, at least directions the song went. I'm curious if there is any backstory behind it outside of just it being a very atmospheric, beautiful song, because that's kind of where I end up after even the lyrics, just the feeling of the music starting, ending with the chimes, right? We have it bookended perfectly well, so we round off the song in a way that makes sense, but everything in the middle, again, to reference what I said earlier, but it is so melodic, it is so atmospheric. All of the elements actually served that purpose in a way that felt very I think cohesive is the word I want to use, because oftentimes when composing music and trying to arrange a track with so many different layers, right? Whether it's, a guitar, bass, drum, vocals, like a standard band set, it can still be a little challenging because you run the risk of stepping on each other's toes in terms of volume, in terms of the frequencies that are boosted or suppressed at any given moment. There's a lot of things at play that make it potentially challenging to mix and master something, and this track really actually felt well mastered, to the point that everything is in this haze together. Does that make sense? So everything still sounds distinct despite it all being coded in this melody that, to me, it's super soothing. Reminds me of Gary Moore. Also reminds me a little bit, I guess to name another guitarist, of Yngwie Malmsteen. Not when he's shredding per se, though there is a lot of cool elements in the shredding here, but in terms of some of the musical atmospheres in his tracks as well. And maybe my guesstimation, Ken, is that you are a guitarist first, then songwriter, but or at least that may be where your background came from, because I can tell so much of the musical ability and the shredding in the guitar. Songs like this oftentimes build up to amazing guitar solos like we heard you play here. At least I think it was you. I have to take a closer look at the credits at the beginning. Words and music by Ken Coffman, bass, guitars, keyboards, sound effects. Okay, so that was Randy George actually on the guitars there. Oh no, but Ted Leonard did lead. Okay, I'm going to assume here that solo was played by Ted. So it seems like, at least if I were to have guessed before having seen the credits there, I would have assumed that the creative genesis for this song comes from the lead guitar, and everything around it supports that high moment. But actually, no. It seems like the song was produced in a way to let's say favor the atmosphere, favor the chimes, favor the story, and all of the elements then fit that story. Hopefully that makes sense. But let me know if you have an answer to that in the comments below. I hope you at least enjoyed the reaction. I certainly did. If you enjoyed my reaction and would like to make a request yourself, you can always do so by clicking the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.